Well, you join us here in Italy. We have the stunning Lake Garda just behind me. It really is beautiful, and you can just hear the waves just slightly lapping at my ankles, I think, here. But when you look behind, the lake is stunning. You can also see the mountains, slightly snow-capped as well. This is just one of the most beautiful settings that you could come to. What we're doing here in Italy, we're going to actually look to see how easy it is to have your own gun made, to look at the whole experience, but also to look at the experience of coming to look at some of the amazing Italian gun manufacturers that are found in this area. We're situated fairly close to Brescia. We're probably about an hour and a half from Milan. I personally flew into Milan Bergamo, and it's taken me about 45 minutes to get here. The hotel I'm actually staying in is literally 200 yards from where I am filming now. And what we're looking at here is how easy you can put that together, but also let's go behind the scenes. Let's find some of that history and that tradition behind great Italian gun makers.
In this programme, we go to visit Caesar Guerini.
Giorgio, for me, this is very, very special. You very kindly allowed us to come here to Italy, to come to Caesar Guerini, and I'm very excited about what we're seeing here. But equally, you know, for me, just to be in the room with all these beautiful guns and wanting to know a little bit more of that history is very, very special. And I certainly know that our viewers are really excited. We've done a lot of work on Facebook and on Twitter, and we've told our viewers we're coming here, and they're all very excited to see it. So thank you very much for having us here.
You're welcome, Phil. You are really very welcome here. Thank you for coming here at Caesar Guerini, and so we'll see.
One of the key things for me, but equally for people looking at it, you know, how old is the business?
Caesar Guerini is now on its 15th year, but my family has a very long and distinguished history in gun making.
So how did it all start? Tell us a little bit about that story.
Well, in the year 2000, my brother Antonio and I saw the opportunity to make a high quality, very high quality yet production and manufacturing shotgun made entirely in Italy, yet inspired by British tradition and offering excellent value for money.
And today, when we drove up, you know, we've driven up through the valley really, and we passed one or two other gun manufacturers. But Caesar Guerini to me seems to be sort of one of Italy's best kept secrets.
Yes, you are probably right. For the 3 or 4 years ago, I suppose not anymore. It has taken 10 years of relentless work and devotion by factory. And our UK and US partner, that we have now reached this position as you say, as a household name within the shooting industry.
And tradition and history is really important with gun making, but equally that's really important for yourselves, isn't it?
Yes, very much so, because we were born in Italy, we were born in Valtrompia Valley, the cradle of Italian gun making, and we all love and respect the traditional British shotguns.
But with that tradition here, I mean, the thing that strikes me being here in Italy, the key thing that strikes me is the passion. There's real passion for gun making, isn't there?
Passion is for sure is our master, but especially Caesar Guerini are always looking for new challenges, and Syren is just one of those examples. The number of ladies shooting both clay and driven game are increasing year on year.
So when we look at the Syren, what is special about the Syren?
Well, these are, for example, some Syren product. We have a spooling, Tempio spooling, Syren, and the 2 game bird, Tempios and Magnus side plate. Okay. Both model are hunting and sporting, have a unique feature, and starting from Monte Carlo, as I explained you before, we need the Monte Carlo in order to help the women to handle the guns and keep the face in strike position. No? So the Monte Carlo and the drop here is just made for the women, has to be a little bit high than the rest of production. And another more important standpoint from Syren production is the pitch, because as you can see, the pitch is completely different. So the pitch is totally different than the rest of production, and I don't speak about the radius and the size of the pistol grip, because the hand of the women, sure, ladies are different, including the palm swell is completely removed. And we just engrave a couple of roses here, just to have a very small detail for the women, because we didn't want absolutely introduce any kind of pink color just for the women. No, nothing. Gun has to be a serious tool for shooting or hunting, just study for the women. The stock is the most important part, but then we work to the handling and balancing of the guns, because the gun has to be perfect in 100% in all entire gun, not only in the stock only. So this is a full line, Tempio and Minuses, but we have some idea for the future, because we want to expand the project on the Syren, as you know.
But the nice thing about this particular gun is, shotguns can be very much a man's world, but that is now changing. But certainly having an ambassador like Tanya Faulds, you've actually had a lady give you the input to make the perfect gun for a lady.
As I told you before, if you work and if you speak with the shooter, such as Tanya Faulds, she's for sure one of the best, you understand and you try to do and follow her idea first of all, because this is a typical example. A shooter that knows exactly what they want, what she wants, and in the other side, we are here, a gun company, want to understand what is the best for the women. That's it. That's why we introduced a Syren project.
Looking at how the growth of Caesar Guerini has come, you've spoken about ladies' guns, of course, but equally, for sporting guns, etc. It's really important for you, both the UK market and the US market.
The UK market has rapidly become our second largest consumer, with the USA remaining first. Operating with such good partners in both UK and US, it's so important that we have at the factory listened to their comments and the feedback, which is why we like their program of dealer, they up and down their respective countries and their contact with the end consumer, the shooter, finally. Only with this information can we continue to perfect our production.
It's really interesting for me, Italy very much is the home of Olympic disciplines. So how hard has it been for you to develop the sporting clays?
Yes, you're right. Italy is very famous for picking up medals at the Olympic Games. Yet more than 80% of clay targets launched in the world are for sporting clay, and predominantly in the US and UK, Great Britain. So how lucky are we have to such great partners with such a history in sporting clay to guide our hand at this time.
And when we look at that, one of your greatest ambassadors and a person who's just extended his partnership with Caesar Guerini is obviously Richard Faulds. And Richard has his history both in the Olympic disciplines but also in the sporting clays as well. So it must be very special for you to have that partnership.
We are very proud of our association with Richard and Tanya Faulds. They are a fantastic family and perfect ambassador for us worldwide. You can tell very much at home with us, and the result in competition is a consequence of that.
And when we talk about Richard and Tanya, you know, for many years, and I interviewed Richard and Tanya before Christmas when the announcement was made, and they let me have a little bit of an exclusive. But looking at that, you know, Richard, but equally now Tanya very much can stand on her own and is really coming into becoming a top shot in her own right. And I know that having Tanya there, it's a real lift for lady shooters, and I know you want to develop that for many more lady shooters.
But the partnership with Tanya Faulds is for us a recognition of just how many ladies are taking up our sport, and makes us proud to be probably the first manufacturer to pay attention to their requirements.
And when you talk about requirements, how can you keep on top of your game?
When you ask me how can you keep on top of our game, it's simple. Work and invest with the best partner you can find, and continue to work 26 hours a day.
And one final question from me is, Guerini, I can relate to the Guerini name, of course, but how did you come up with Caesar Guerini?
This is a typical question. Many people wonder why we choose the name Caesar Guerini for our company. Allow me to answer with the question: has Italy ever been more identifiable with the courage, strength, intelligence, far-sightedness and good taste than during the peak of Roman Empire? Has Italy ever changed the course of history more than then?
It's true, it's true. And I suppose therefore we look at the name Caesar.
That's it.
Being able to spend some time with you, because I know that you're really busy with all the new projects and building this, to me it's really exciting, and I know our viewers, they've already been on Facebook and Twitter before I even came to say we can't wait to look around. So I have to say for myself, I'm so lucky to be here, and thank you for that, but I'm really looking forward now to having a look around the factory.
Yes, of course. It was lovely to have here, and if you want, we can have a look on the production, no problem.